Hi everybody, this is Rocky, and it's September 13th, 2021, and it's 5:40 in the afternoon. This video is being shot as a preface to another video, one that I shot a couple weeks ago. When I shot that video, Maggie mentioned to me that she didn't think I should publish it because she thought that the yard had been neglected a little bit, and it looked neglected, and she didn't want other people to see it. Well, there's two reasons that I disagree with that. The first reason is that I think the yard looks great. It's probably better than it has been in previous years. The other reason is that if it is neglected, it has a lot to do with me and nothing to do with her. Let me explain further. This year, from spring, during the gardening season, I've experienced some health issues. I won't elaborate so I don't bore you, but let's just say that there were some pain issues. So I haven't been able to do my fair share of the work on the garden. In previous years, Maggie and I would share the work about 50-50. This year, if it's 90-10, 90% her part and 10% mine, that would be generous to me because I haven't been doing much of anything because of the pain issues, and it's all fallen onto her. Like I said, she's done a great job, an absolutely fabulous job. We've got more produce this year than we have in past years. Like I said, this is a preface to that other video, and I'm going to show that video after this one. And since that video was shot maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, I'm going to shoot one more video and I'll pin that to that video so you can see how it's progressed. We're now getting into the point where some of the stuff is coming down and we're getting prepared for fall. With all that said, and no further ado, let's look into those videos. Thank you, and as always, thanks for watching. Well, hello everybody, it's Rocky Wilson once again, and it is Sunday, August 29th, 2021. I'm starting at the front of the house here. I'm going to do a quick video of what's transpired since the last video that I've published. Here is a tomato right over here. Let me zoom in on our tomato. As you can see, it's a pretty scraggly looking tomato, and some pieces and parts of it have gone over to the side. But what happened is early on this spring, or late spring, we had one tomato that was kind of looking sickly. So we put it down here, put it on this little wheeled cart right there, and wheeled it, figured we could wheel it around the front parking pad wherever we wanted to. And it really took to the sun here. It's produced a ton of tomatoes. As you can see, it's pretty big. And there are a few tomatoes on it now, but they pale in comparison to what was on it throughout the summer. It's about done now though, unfortunately. But thank you, tomato, for providing us with lots of good snacks throughout the summer. This is our 2003 Prius right there. As we go along, here's our driveway up, but here's the construction project that is next to us. And they're back at it. They got their permits approved about a week and a half ago, and they immediately laid the foundation. Now they're putting up the things to build the walls for the basement, the lower level of the thing. It's going to be about 35 feet high, or a little less, so way up yonder. Anyway, they're back at it. They're going to put a 4,200 square foot building on a 5,700 square foot lot. So good luck to them on that. But they're all approved again. I think the city held them up about 3 or 4 months on a permitting issue. Okay, so here's our front garden, and we've been putting in little things. Here's a piece of the watering system. We've been putting in some additional watering pieces on this, and they seem to be working good. There's one there, there's a little one right there, and We've put some other stuff. There's another one right there. The watering system was blowing itself apart because it had too much pressure. Here's another one here, laying with a little blue top on it. There's one back there, one in there. And if you come over here, there's one with a little blue top on it here. There's another one someplace real nearby. Where'd it go? I thought there was one right down here. Huh. Oh well, anyway. It works a lot better now that we put in the new parts and pieces. As we continue on, we've had our driveway here. Let's see, yeah, clean, so all the weeds are out of it. Thank you to our helpers for doing that. That's hard work, by the way. Our motorhome, we haven't taken any trips. We took one trip, we went out blueberry picking in it. But other than that, we haven't taken any trips because of the COVID situation. A few things over here. Our pile of compost is dwindling as it's getting used up. Still quite a bit. I think we bought too much. We bought 9 yards of compost, and we've used about half of it, so I don't know what we're going to do with all of it. This little tomato here, I don't know, it's supposed to be a special little tomato designed for pots, and it's produced tons of little tomatoes for us. Maggie likes that. We're going to get that variety in the future. You can see it's kind of a little squatty thing, but you couldn't believe the number of tomatoes we got on it throughout the year. And this one has been producing some decent tomatoes. You can see some of them there. It's still got a ways to go. Stupus, I think this is. What does it say right there? Oh, something else. Yeah, it is. It is Stupus, yeah. Heirloom tomatoes, Stupus. Dang, I got that right. That's, I'm impressed myself. Here's another bigger tomato. And here's another one. They've all been producing pretty darn good. But a lot of them have got the dropsy here, like this one, where it's tall. Instead of going up, it just dropped down. But it's got, I forget what this one is. It's a brandy something or other. It's a Brandywine heirloom cross. Brandywines are one of the best tomatoes, but they don't grow in our region very well. And the hybridization of this is supposed to be good for our region. We've had 1 or 2 tomatoes off of it, and they're absolutely wonderful. I think we got this in a little late, but we'll still get a couple more. Here's a little bitty tomatoes, and we get tons of these little bitty things. It's better, certainly better than no tomatoes, but they are awful small. Let me see, there you go. And continuing on, here's our pot farm here that Maggie has developed over the years, or over the summer anyway. And we've got various things here. There's some cucumbers there, more cucumbers there, squish, miscellaneous herbs that have bolted, and we've got some other stuff. This is some sort of a ground cover right here. Oxalis, I believe it's called. And there's another thing of oxalis here. A couple more squish. Maggie couldn't bear to kill the squish. You're supposed to put in the 3 squish and take the best one. Well, she couldn't do that, so she left them all in there, and they're suffering a little bit because of that. Anyway, this is a raspberry that we dug out of the dirt. Raspberries tend to try to run runners everywhere and grow in the yard and stuff, and that one was taken out of the yard. Strawberry pot still hasn't been filled with strawberries, but still may be before the year's out. And here we go around this corner. Yeah, hopefully it'll adjust for the light for you. As you can see, this tomato plant has done quite well. It's still got a ton of tomatoes on it. Tomatoes, more tomatoes everywhere, tomatoes. And again, it's done the dropsy thing by trying to run the tomatoes on the ground. We put this trellis here up A little birdie up there, and a bunny down, or a squirrel down there. But anyway, there it is. Lots of tomatoes, and they're good. They're really good tomatoes. Likewise, this one has done well this year as well. See tons of little tomatoes everywhere. And this corner back here, so here's the fence. That's the neighbor's yard, and this is our yard. This corner back here catches a lot of heat, and I think that that's very beneficial for the tomatoes. So here's some more tomatoes, and more tomatoes. We've been eating a lot of tomatoes, and I have arthritis, and the tomatoes and the arthritis don't get along, but the tomatoes went out in the end because I love the tomatoes, and the arthritis, well, it just makes me sore. Okay, moving on. Let's zoom that out a little bit. This is a tree that we've been pruning back so we can have a little shade here if we want to come out with a chair and sit. Haven't done much sitting though. Certainly Maggie hasn't. She's been spending half of her day watering plants. Okay, so here's another plum tree. This one gave us, maybe 10, 20 plums this year. It does that about the same every year. One year it gave us over 50, close to 100, I think. The variety is, I forget the variety of plum that one is. And moving on, we have a prune plum. This is an Italian prune plum. I don't know if I can get a good shot at some of these, but here's what they look like. And they are very nice plums, and there's a lot of them this year. We've had more in previous years, but I don't know if you can see them, but there's lots of plums here. Plum, plum, plum. One year we got about 2,400 off the 3 trees. Looks like it's going to be more like 1,500 this year. And believe it or not, this tree probably has 400 or 500 of them on it. This is our fig tree. We got 3 figs off it so far, and there's a whole bunch of little guys trying to become figs, but I don't think the season will be long enough to let them do that. I don't think figs are really the best thing for our climate here in Seattle. And here, let's see, I hope the thing will auto adjust. There we go. There's some more bigger tomatoes there. There was another pot right on that pad, and Maggie took it out. This one's about to go. This is a persimmon tree. We planted it about 3 years ago, and we've yet to get a persimmon off of it. Moving on down, this is the plum tree, prune plum again, and you can see right up there, there's a big old clutch of plums. See right in there. Come on, adjust. There we go. Let's see if I can. There they are. There's a bunch up there, so we're going to get several hundred. They're a little smaller this year. There's the Asian pear tree. Oops. Zoom out. And sorry about the sun, but these days we don't get much time with everything that goes on at the Wilson farm here. And here's a Fuji apple tree. There's a Fuji apple right there. We've got little sakis on them, hoping to keep the bugs away. They were pruned very nicely. Maggie pruned them this year, so the trees are looking much healthier, and we don't have near as many apples, which is probably a good thing. Up here is the blueberry strawberry patch, and we've had to we built this gate up here to keep the bunnies out, and put all this around. And we would do one thing, and then the bunnies would figure it out, and then we'd do it another, and they'd figure it out. Now we've got them all out. When there were smaller bunnies, they had a lot better ways to get in, but we had to put this chicken wire up over the other fence, which is behind the chicken wire. I don't know if you can see that in the video. And because the bunnies, the little guys, could actually jump right through that other fence. They can't do that with the chicken wire. Anyway, we got tons and tons of blueberries this year, tons and tons of strawberries. So, as usual, this patch of land has produced very well for us. This one, however, doesn't seem to do that. Not to say we didn't get anything out of it, but this is beans and peas and squash and cucumbers. Basically, we call it the veggie bed, and everything seems to just dry out and kind of die. We think that it might be a little too warm here for a lot of things, because this is a nice sheltered corner where the sun comes in. And but whatever the thing is, you can see there's a couple of squish right there. I think I've got them. Those are called crookneck squish. They're very tasty, but we didn't get as many as we would like to. Holy cow, look at that. Nice, look like a very ripe pear. I want to pull that thing. Nope, doesn't feel ripe. Well, let's see, there it is, right there. These are Korean pears. And moving on, in the spring, I believe we had various lettuces in this area here, and time didn't allow us to replant the lettuce. And now we've got a few things with raspberries in them and some strawberries. There's strawberries. Strawberry. This of all things is a huckleberry, I don't know, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a small leafed huckleberry. They have red berries, but we've never got a berry off of it because it came from the mountains and it doesn't do well down on these lowlands. Anyway, not much has come out of here except for some lettuce. However, this area here is our raspberries, and they've done quite well, thank you very much. We had yellow ones up here and the red ones, which are still coming out right there. Got quite a few this year. We're heading, we've got part of the watering system in, and we're going to try to Hi everybody, it's still Rocky, and it's still August 29th, 2021. The other video shut off in the middle because my card was full. Hopefully I still have what I recorded on that card. We'll find out later. This is where I ended, was at the raspberries. As I was saying, the yellow raspberries on this end, red raspberries, which are still a lot of them here. Let's see if we can get a few of them on video. There, you can see some of them there. A bunch of them there. Anyway, they're still going strong. The second crop, they produce two crops, one in the spring, one in the fall. The yellow ones have pretty much given up though. And they've been delicious. And as I was mentioning, we're doing the watering. We're trying to do a watering system on these to make it easier to water them. And here's a bright place in our garden this year, is that our blackberries have now started coming in gangbusters. We've been eating and eating and eating off these blackberries. There's 3 or 4 plants here maybe, and every one producing quite a bit. They don't all come at once, so it's hard to tell when they're ripe. So what we do is we come out here and we graze off of them, taking the ripe ones and leaving the not ripe ones. This middle one, this one here, which is as you can see, I can rub my hand on it, no problems. There's no thorns on that one. This one is like the same way, it has no thorns. However, this one, we bought it and we thought it was a thornless when we bought it, but it has thorns, so I'm not going to rub my fingers over that one. As you can see, here's some berries down there. Quite a few unripe ones up here. A couple almost ripe ones down there. And likewise, we're trying to put a watering system in here. There's a nice big old juicy berry right there. Let's see if it's... Oh, that's ripe. So I'll eat it. Anyway, I can't talk because I'm eating the berry. And this has been very prolific this year. Previous years we wondered why we even planted the bed. We created the bed, we dug down, we built the dirt for it, fertilized it, and now we're getting the rewards 3 or 4 years later. Here's another plum tree, another prune plum tree, and you can see that there's lots of plums on this tree. This was the guy that was just a little stick when we moved in. I mean, by little stick I mean like 3.5, 4 feet tall. Now it's about 10, 12 feet tall with lots and lots of plums on it. It used to have 5 or 6, and you can see right here plums everywhere. So we're very happy with what this tree is producing. There's a big old clump of plums, and they're all delicious. So between this and the other 2 trees, we'll do fine. They're all the 3 good producers are the prune plum, called Italian prune plum trees. But that big one over there, right there, that's center frame, that's a Santa Rosa, and that's the one that only gives us maybe 10 to 20, maybe 30 plums a year. Like I said, one year we got 50 to 100, but that was an odd year. I don't know if it's supposed to be just a flowering plum or what, but we like the Santa Rosa plums as well as, but the prune plums are our favorite, of course. Anyway, that's it, and it's still August 29th, 2021, Sunday, and this is Rocky signing off. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi everybody, it is Monday, September 13th, 2021, and here's the update on my garden tour. This little plant here has been placed here. We had a long gangly plant here, but we had to pull it out because all the tomatoes were gone. This guy's got a few little, let's see if we can see them, a few little flowers on it, so there might be some tomatoes if we get a nice hot streak. But chances are we won't get any tomatoes off it. This is a good warm place. It's in the front of our house. A lot of reflected heat in the afternoon. It's about it's about 5:50 in the evening right now. So let's see what's happened to the garden since the last video. Here we've still got put a few more things in the watering system here. It's working well. The lavender's all bloomed. The bees have foraged on it, and it's gone to seed. So about time to trim that back. All the rhododendrons all the flowers have gone. They're all budded up, ready for next spring. You can see little buds on them, but they're done for the year. The azalea, likewise, I don't know what this white stuff is, but it's something Maggie likes. Here's some more of it right here. And I think she calls this sedum. I don't know. It's a ground cover, and it's covering the ground pretty good. Another azalea, etc. Well, this azalea over here, or maybe this is a hydrangea. I don't know. One of them is a hydrangea, one of them is an azalea. I think that's the azalea there. And this one here is a hydrangea, and it has little flowers on it still. So the bees have something to feed off of. And going over here, we've worked down this pile of compost here quite a bit. About half of it's gone. We got 9 yards brought in earlier. And if you've been following my videos, you know that this area had a few more tomatoes in it. There was one up here and one on this, and where that empty pot is, there was one there. They've all been dumped out. Tomato soil is not good to grow many other things in, so we've taken the tomato soil and just spread it out over the yard here, hoping to help the grass out. There's still a few tomatoes on this guy, lots of tomatoes on that one, a few tomatoes on that one, but some of them have been taken out because of fall and they ran their course. There's stuff in this to be harvested, some compost, and here's some more tomatoes over here. As you can see, there's tomatoes here on this plant, tons of tomatoes on this way here. Good thing that little metal squirrels don't eat tomatoes. We do have a little squirrel that comes by and picks one off and hauls it away. He doesn't eat too many of them though. There's some more tomatoes. They're bigger ones here. This area turned out to be pretty good. There's our shed here, and over here 100 is the other house, so it kind of captures the warmth, and tomatoes like that, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. So anyway, these are still going. None of them had to be taken out yet. A lot of this stuff here, you can see some empty pots where, I think there were some squash and some cucumbers, and they've run their course. This is a raspberry and various herbs. Here's some tomatoes. Forget the variety, but they're kind of they're for making sauces and stuff. They're not very good eating. We probably shouldn't have planted that, but we did. This cucumber still got plenty of blooms on it, so it may still produce some more cucumbers. Maggie just took 2 off today, and we ate them. These are called lemon cucumbers. They look like little lemons. Here's a squish plant with some nice blooms on it. We had a squish off of it a couple days ago. More stuff. Moving on, the plum trees have been trimmed back. This one, it was a pretty big bumper crop of plums. They've started falling off, and we've been picking them. You can see there's a few down there on the ground. Those all happened today, and there's still a few on the tree here. Let's see, zoom in. I don't know if you can see, there's some right there. One up here, and a whole bunch right here. There's a plum, a bunch of them right in here. Oh, I guess they're right there. There they are. There's more up there. Anyway, this plum tree been doing well. We got, I think, 3 figs off of this year, and there's a second crop coming on, but the year always runs out before that second crop ever produces anything edible. Strawberries on the moats. We got the moats done this year. There were 3 tomato plants here. 2 of them are gone. This one remains with some tomatoes on it. We've yet to get a persimmon off of our persimmon tree. And this plum produced a whole bunch of them too, and they've been falling off as well. The Asian pears and the apples are yet to come. Those are our final crop. Blueberries were wonderful, as were the strawberries. We've opened up the gate, let the critters in. There's nothing for them to eat or destroy now, so that's good. This bed produced a lot of treats for us as well. And so everything's been pulled up, and we're going to mulch out all this paper in, get it ready for next year. And here's another Asian pear with There's some pears on it right there. A few of them are falling off, and you can see somebody has been nibbling on that pear. Probably a bunny. Oh, that looks like a crow, actually. Anyway, there's another. The crows knock them down, then nibble at them. Squirrels like them as well. We put this bowl of water out for the various critters. The only people we see using it, though, are the crows. Here's a bunch of strawberries trying to expand their boundaries. We're going to clip those off and put them in that strawberry pot. And you can see a lot of stuff. See, it is fall. Clean some chairs up to put away for fall. And here's the raspberry patch, which has been pruned back. Some people prune them all the way down to the ground each fall. We don't do that. We like to get the fall berries. And here's some fall berries right there. And the blackberries did really, really well this year. And you can see berries here and berries there. And we've been picking and picking, and generally we don't come out and pick them and carry them in. We just graze and eat them right off the bush. But we got about at least double, maybe 5 times as many as previous years. So we're real happy with the blackberry patch. These are thornless blackberries. That one I think has some thorns, but the other two don't. And here's our little plum tree, or was little at one time. And it's got a bunch of plums on it still, and they've been falling off too. So plum season is about done. We did get, maybe 1,500, 2,000 plums this year. Gave them to some friends. Ate a bunch of them. We've been eating, at least 10 a piece. So 20 of them a day. Maybe as many as 30 or 40 a day we eat. But when you've got 1,500 of them, you don't have enough days to eat them all. Anyway, that's where the yard is for this September 13th, 2021 day, Monday. And thanks, as always, for watching.